Welcome to the Metabolic Maestro podcast, where we help you orchestrate your metabolism one note at a time. This is episode 10, Fuel Choice, Fat versus Carbs, Mitochondrial Flexibility, and Nutrient Guidance. I'm Kathleen, a synthesized voice Bob has chosen to host his podcast. Welcome back to the Metabolic Orchestra series, the 10th episode in this series. In the last episode, we explored ATP production, mitochondrial function, redox balance, minerals, hormones, and energy buffers. Today, we address fuel choice. Carbohydrates and fats are not just calories. They are signals and regulators of mitochondrial efficiency. How your body chooses fuel affects energy levels, oxidative stress, recovery, and long-term health. Part 1. Carbohydrates, rapid electrons. Carbohydrates arrive as glucose polymers that quickly break down and enter glycolysis, producing pyruvate that feeds your mitochondria as acetyl-CoA. This fast-track pathway offers a clear advantage: rapid ATP production for sprinting and intense activity when your cells need energy now. It comes at a cost. The high electron load from processing so much glucose so quickly can overwhelm your mitochondrial machinery, generating increased reactive oxygen species if those power plants aren't fully functional. Additionally, the insulin spike triggered by rapid carbohydrate absorption shifts critical minerals, pulling potassium and magnesium into cells, potentially disrupting the very electrolyte balance your energy system depends on. Part 2. Fats, slow and steady. Unlike carbohydrates, fats can't directly enter your mitochondria. They need carnitine as an escort, a molecular shuttle that transports fatty acids across the mitochondrial membrane. Once inside, beta oxidation systematically breaks down these fatty acids into acetyl-CoA. Both carbohydrates and fats converge at acetyl-CoA, which fuels the Krebs cycle. Fats provide more ATP per molecule due to longer chains and more reduced cofactors but are mobilized more slowly, while carbohydrates allow rapid ATP generation via glycolysis. The advantages: this slower, measured conversion provides a continuous stream of ATP perfect for sustained endurance activities. Each ATP molecule generated comes with significantly less oxidative stress, making fat metabolism cleaner for your mitochondria over the long haul. The disadvantages: the trade-off is speed. Fat metabolism has a slower activation time, making it unsuitable for quick bursts of activity. It's also entirely dependent on robust mitochondrial enzyme capacity, requiring adequate magnesium, carnitine, and a suite of cofactors, including B2, B3, and CoQ10. Without this full supporting cast, your ability to burn fat for fuel becomes compromised. Part 3. Mitochondrial flexibility. Healthy mitochondria are metabolic acrobats, effortlessly flipping between fat and carbohydrate fuel, depending on what's available and what your body demands. This flexibility is the hallmark of efficient energy production. When your mitochondria are nimble, they burn whichever fuel suits the moment: carbs for sprinting, fats for endurance, while generating abundant ATP with minimal waste. Reactive oxygen species stay low because the electron flow matches the system's capacity perfectly. But this flexibility doesn't just happen. It depends on an entire support network. Hormones like insulin, cortisol, and thyroid must signal clearly. Minerals like magnesium, potassium, and iron must be present in precise amounts. Buffering systems like creatine, glycine, and taurine must protect against overload. And redox systems like glutathione and vitamin C must recycle continuously. When any piece fails, mitochondria become rigid and one-dimensional. They lose their ability to switch fuels, forcing your body into a metabolic straitjacket. Energy production becomes inefficient, oxidative stress skyrockets, and fatigue sets in as your cells struggle to meet demand with the wrong fuel source. Part 4. Nutrient dependencies for flexibility. Switching between carbohydrate and fat fuel isn't automatic. It requires a specific set of molecular tools for each pathway. Carbohydrate metabolism demands magnesium to stabilize every ATP molecule, thiamine, vitamin B1 to run the pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme that feeds mitochondria, and CoQ10 to shuttle electrons through the transport chain. Fat metabolism needs its own toolkit: carnitine to transport fatty acids across the mitochondrial membrane, a full suite of B vitamins to power every step of beta oxidation, magnesium for multiple enzymatic reactions, and vitamin C both to synthesize carnitine and provide antioxidant backup. Throughout both processes, buffer molecules, creatine, glycine, and taurine stand guard, protecting mitochondria from the oxidative stress of high-energy production. Without this complete nutritional foundation, your cells lose their metabolic flexibility and become locked into whatever fuel they can barely process. Part 5. Insulin and fat adaptation. Insulin acts as your body's master fuel selector. When insulin levels are high after a meal, your cells are programmed to burn glucose and store fat, effectively shutting down fat oxidation. But when insulin drops during fasting or low-carb periods, the metabolic switch flips, and your mitochondria seamlessly transition to burning stored fat for fuel. This switching mechanism doesn't work in isolation. Minerals like potassium and magnesium are essential for insulin to function properly, while balanced electrolytes ensure smooth transitions between fuel sources. This reveals a deeper truth: energy isn't just about calories or fuel, it's about signals and regulation, the molecular conversations that direct your metabolism moment by moment. Part 6. Reactive oxygen species, the double-edged signal. Carbohydrate metabolism unleashes a torrent of electrons, like opening a fire hose into your mitochondria machinery. When your mitochondria can't handle the flood, electrons leak and form ROS, reactive oxygen species, metabolic sparks that can ignite damage. Fat metabolism, by contrast, delivers electrons more like a controlled faucet, producing them at a rate your mitochondria can manage. But here's the crucial nuance: ROS, reactive oxygen species, isn't inherently bad. In the right amounts, it signals adaptation, telling your cells to build stronger mitochondria and better antioxidant defenses. The real determinant isn't ROS production alone, it's the balance between these signals and your cleanup crew: vitamin C, glutathione, glycine, and taurine. When antioxidants match ROS output, energy production builds you up. When they fall behind, it tears you down. Part 7. Exercise, fuel, and buffers. During high-intensity activity, your cells burn through ATP within milliseconds. Creatine phosphate steps in as your emergency buffer, while glycine and taurine work overtime to stabilize mitochondria against the resulting oxidative storm. In this anaerobic zone, carbohydrate oxidation dominates because only it can deliver electrons fast enough to meet the explosive demand. Shift to low-intensity endurance work, and the metabolic scene changes completely. Fat becomes your primary fuel, fed through beta oxidation at a pace your mitochondria can comfortably handle. This triggers mitochondria adaptations, increasing enzyme capacity and efficiency, while keeping reactive oxygen species tightly controlled. Recovery flows naturally because the system never becomes overwhelmed. The key is that both pathways require robust nutrient support to function effectively. Without adequate buffers, even endurance exercise can overwhelm your mitochondria. Without proper metabolic flexibility, high-intensity efforts collapse prematurely. Part 8. Hormones and substrate choice. Your hormones don't just respond to fuel availability, they actively shape which fuel your mitochondria burn. Insulin rises after meals, signaling abundance and directing your cells to favor carbohydrates, shutting down fat oxidation to preserve stored energy for later. Cortisol plays the opposite role, mobilizing fat stores during stress, fasting, or exercise, ensuring your cells have fuel when food isn't available. Thyroid hormone acts as the universal accelerator, ramping up overall mitochondrial capacity and enzyme production so you can burn any fuel more efficiently. But none of this works without mineral balance. Aldosterone's delicate regulation of potassium creates the ion gradients that every mitochondria depends on, while potassium itself enables insulin to function properly. Together, these hormones integrate fuel signals with mineral status and redox systems, conducting a metabolic orchestra that optimizes energy production moment by moment. Part 9. Practical guidance. The complexity of energy metabolism boils down to straightforward daily actions. First, they prioritize adequate magnesium, potassium, and iron. These minerals form the bedrock of metabolic flexibility. Without them, your mitochondria simply can't switch between fuel sources efficiently. Second, they actively support your cellular buffers. Creatine, glycine, and taurine do more than boost performance. They protect your highest energy tissues, brain, heart, and muscles from daily wear and tear. They maintain robust vitamin C and glutathione systems to recycle electrons and keep oxidative stress in check. Third, they balance carbohydrates and fats based on your actual energy needs and current metabolic flexibility. Finally, they master the timing and provide carbohydrates when you need explosive power, but still allow your body to oxidize fat during endurance work or rest periods. Your mitochondria respond to the signals you send. Make sure they're the right ones. Part 10. Energy orchestration. Energy production isn't a simple assembly line. It's a complex self-regulating network where every component influences every other. Nutrients feed the enzymes that drive reactions, while minerals stabilize those same enzymes against the constant flux of charged particles. Buffers like creatine, glycine, and taurine stand guard around mitochondria, protecting them from the very energy they produce. Hormones conduct this molecular orchestra, directing when to burn carbohydrates and when to mobilize fat. Kidneys manage metabolic waste while carefully preserving precious electrolytes. Redox systems continuously recycle damaged molecules, preventing oxidative stress from overwhelming the entire network. In this intricate dance, flexibility isn't just an advantage, it's the ultimate measure of efficiency. The ability to seamlessly shift between fuel sources, to adapt to demand without breaking down, determines whether your cells thrive or merely survive. Part 11. Why this matters. When fatty acids are repeatedly activated into acyl-CoA but not oxidized, cells shift away from ATP production toward lipid storage. In the brain, this metabolic shift is increasingly associated with higher Alzheimer's risk, making lifelong metabolic health through diet and exercise one of the most powerful protective strategies. Health is the ability to convert acyl-CoA into acetyl-CoA on demand. Aging and disease begin when fuel is activated faster than mitochondria can finish burning it, forcing cells toward storage, incomplete oxidation, and rising reactive oxygen species. In closing, energy isn't just about counting calories, it's about speaking the language your mitochondria understand. When you support your energy systems with the right minerals, protective buffers, balanced hormones, and robust antioxidant networks, you're not just feeding your cells, you're conducting a symphony. Only when fuel, minerals, and signaling are perfectly aligned does energy flow smoothly, powering everything you do without breakdown or burnout. If you're curious where this story truly begins, in the long journey of an electron, I start at the very first gate, the moment fatty acids are activated into acyl-CoA, and how only those that complete the journey become acetyl-CoA and real energy. It's a deeper dive, but it explains why some fuel powers life, and some never quite gets there. In our next episode, we'll dive deeper into how creatine, taurine, and glycine specifically support aging and recovery, connecting these nutrients directly to longevity and peak performance. Until then, remember, energy is not merely something you consume or store. It is an intricate orchestration, an ongoing balance that determines whether your cells merely survive or truly thrive.